The Nigerian police says the threat by Boko Haram to bomb Abuja, the nation's capital, and other states was real, reinforcing the warning issued by the British and American governments at the weekend that the Islamic sect was planning to strike the Federal Capital Territory. The Commissioner of Police, FCT, Sadiq Bello, says the police is working with other security agencies to make sure the threat is not actualized. Preventive terrorism expert Temitope Olodo joins us via Skype to share his thoughts on this. Another threats coming in from these insurgents. What do you make of this recent one?
I think we should not be surprised that we're getting this threat. We should recognize that Nigeria is still on the global terrorism index list as number 3, and on the global peace index number 139 of 136 that is still experiencing violence extremism. So I'm not surprised. I think what we should be more bothered about is what preparation that the Nigerian police have in place, or security services, in ensuring safety and security of people, in Abuja.
Well, the Nigerian army has been placed on red alert, and it's saying it will deploy more troops to major highways in the FCT. Is that enough to forestall this attacks from happening? How do we handle this in your view?
It is not enough, but we must commend them for the fact that they're going to release a lot of physical security, as a deterrent. But I think what we should be working more on is the area is on the aspect of preventive terrorism, which is my area of expertise. One of the things we should be looking at is what kind of security measures are in place in your market, what kind of security measures are in place in cinemas, what kind of security initiative are in place of worship, and it's those kind of little booklets, explained in native dialect for people that might not understand English or that might not have a very good knowledge of English, but that need to take responsibility that we should be taking on board. It's about education. And if government should take that initiative to ensure security consciousness of people, and people are alert, then we'll be able to address this issue. It's not that much of a concern for me personally if we're able to put in place the preventive measures.
But do you think that we have the capability to put in the enough measures to forestall this attack? As some have said that this threat actually shows the volatility of the security situation in the country.
I think what this threat has revealed is the lack of the necessary security infrastructure to address the challenge. As we speak, the National Security Advisor and his office, the NSA, have developed some security tips which they have, but it's not out there in the public domain. Now, these are the kind of things that they should have in the public. It's not about developing documents, it's about releasing that document in the public domain, so that any church you go to, any mosque you go to, any cinema hall you go to, they all have the appropriate security measures that they need. What we need is that our hospitals, for example, should be at alert that when there is a bomb threat, or when an incident of a bomb explosion happens, that they have everything in place. They don't have to start rushing, to put ambulance in place or calling a driver. Everything is in place. And if we have a tension monitoring structure, there are all these issues of the Americans or the British telling their people not to come will not happen. In fact, we should be the one telling Nigerians to be careful about being on Oxford Street or being around Westminster Parliament, because those are areas where incidents have happened in the UK, and in which people have been killed, sadly, or injured. And Nigerians plow all these places. A lot of Nigerians are traveling to the UK in thousands. We should be telling our people to be careful about crowded places, not them telling us. I'm not saying what they've done is not right, but I think we also should be more proactive in the way in which we convey information. But we have all this information from people that we've arrested, the terrorists that we've arrested, but we don't release this information. If they have it, they put it together in a constructive way and release it. That shows a lack of structure in our system, and that is what we need to be working on.
All right, but quickly, before I let you go, if we release information to the public, don't you think that that will give the insurgents the opportunity to come up with other measures or ways or devise other means to strike?
No, it doesn't. You see, if you go online, for example, as I speak, there are counter-terrorism measures that have been put in place by the UK government, which is there for businesses, advice on how to keep a business place safe, advice on how to keep cinema safe, advice on how to keep national infrastructure like water plantations, electrical areas safe. We should have this information, and they should be out there. There should be risk assessment that are carried out. That's the reason why terrorists will know that these areas that are not that people should not go to. I recently went to an Interpol conference, and when I came into the airport at Qatar in Doha, they had dogs there sniffing individuals to find out if they are carrying bombs. Why is it that our markets are bombed continuously? The same places are bombed all the time, and yet we've not put in measures. That's the reason why other countries are telling their citizens to be careful, because there's nothing wrong in saying, oh, there might be a challenge here, but we have fixed it. We have dealt with the hospitals. We are doing drilling. The only drill that we've seen so far is at the airport. Is that the only place that Nigerians go to? Why is it that we have a selective approach on security measures? Why is it only where rich people go to, or where people of VIPs go to, that we put proper security measures? Why don't we have security measures in Use and all the other markets around Abuja that ordinary people will go to? That's the reason why people are a bit concerned with the way in which our security services put out information or deal with security challenges.
Preventive terrorism expert Temitope Olodo, thanks for your time on the news.
Thank you very much for having me.
We take a break now and return with more stories. Stay with us.